gmna uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good evening. A heat advisory is set for tomorrow, so stay cool, and the CDTA will roll out Sunday bus route changes. Traffic's clear, and you'll want to catch Gershwin's An American in Paris on stage tonight. Over to you, Diana.
Gershwin's An American in Paris returns to the Saratoga Performing Arts Center this weekend, with performances Friday night, Saturday matinee, and Sunday evening.
Tickets are on sale at the SPAC box office and online. Priced from $20 for balcony seats to $60 for orchestra. Conducted by local maestro James Whittaker.
The Saratoga Symphony will perform alongside a 30-musician chamber ensemble, featuring period costumes and projected visual art to enhance the 1920s Parisian atmosphere.
Family-friendly seating accommodates all ages, and the program includes classic Gershwin numbers alongside new arrangements. Lots to get to, let's begin. Here are our top stories. Tomorrow's heat advisory, issued by the New York City Weather Forecast Office, warns of dangerously high temperatures across the New York City region, including Saratoga Springs. Talia Whitcomb has the full story.
An official heat advisory has been posted for today, Friday, August 21st, covering the greater New York City region and extending into Saratoga Springs. The New York City Weather Forecast Office warns that temperatures are expected to climb into the high 90s, with heat indexes pushing well above 100 degrees. The advisory signals heightened risk for heat exhaustion and heat stroke, especially for those working outdoors or without access to cooling. Residents are advised to stay in air-conditioned spaces when possible, drink plenty of fluids, and check on vulnerable neighbors. Schools and community centers are urged to consider limiting outdoor activities during the peak heat hours. Talia Whitcomb, GMNA News, Saratoga Springs.
Capital District Transportation Authority announced that this Sunday, August 23rd, it will roll out a series of service adjustments across multiple bus routes throughout the capital region, including several lines that serve Saratoga. The revisions are slated to begin at sunrise on Sunday and will remain in effect for the remainder of the summer schedule. Riders can expect altered stop patterns, revised frequencies, and a handful of route consolidations aimed at streamlining operations and boosting overall reliability. The agency says the changes are part of a broader effort to improve transit service and respond to shifting rider demand. Commuters are urged to review the updated timetables posted on the CDTA website and at station shelters before traveling. Officials will monitor the rollout over the weekend and address any immediate concerns.
Tomorrow, local road crews will close a stretch of Moe Road in Clifton Park for flood damage repairs. The shutdown follows the heavy rains that battered the area this week, leaving the roadway compromised and unsafe for traffic. Officials say the temporary closure is intended to allow crews to clear debris, reinforce the subgrade, and reseal the surface. Work that must be completed before the summer season's peak travel. Drivers are urged to use alternate routes such as Route 208 and County Road 2, and to expect detours that may add a few minutes to their commute. The closure is slated to last several hours, with crews aiming to reopen the road by early evening once the repairs are verified. Authorities will monitor conditions and provide updates as needed.
Saratoga County Deputy Sheriff Jacob McCaslin announced a new crackdown and public education campaign targeting illegal e-bikes, aiming to reduce disruptions and improve rider safety across the county. Bridget Halloran has the full story.
Deputy Sheriff Jacob McCaslin is out here in Saratoga County, rolling out a coordinated crackdown on illegal e-bikes. Officers are patrolling popular trailheads, park entrances, and downtown streets, pulling riders who lack the required registration or speed limits. The sheriff's office is also launching a public education push, handing out flyers and posting signage that explain the county's e-bike rules and the penalties for non-compliance. Officials say the effort aims to cut down on traffic disruptions and keep cyclists and pedestrians safe. As the campaign rolls on, riders are being warned that repeat violations could lead to fines or seizure of the bike. The county hopes the visible presence will encourage compliance before the summer peak. Bridget Halloran, GMNA News, Saratoga Springs.
Animal control officials in Saratoga County announced that the county shelter has suspended all routine intakes until further notice. The pause comes as staff confront a sharp rise in cruelty investigations that has filled the kennel capacity. With every available pen occupied by animals seized from illegal operations, the shelter has redirected resources to care for those victims and to process the associated legal cases. Officials say the measure is temporary but essential to ensure adequate medical treatment, nutrition, and safe housing for the seized animals. Families seeking to adopt or surrender pets are being asked to contact private rescues or neighboring municipalities while the shelter focuses on the influx of abuse cases. The department will reassess space availability each week and will lift the hold when capacity permits promptly. Later we'll celebrate Coach Rich John's Lifetime Achievement Honor, a local hero whose dedication inspires us all. We will be right back.
Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news. Welcome back. Saratoga Co., the family-owned popcorn maker that's been a staple of our downtown market, is set to roll its own brand onto the shelves of Stewart's shops across Saratoga County and eventually throughout New York's convenience store network. The company says the new line will debut in the coming weeks, giving drivers, hikers, and regular shoppers a chance to grab a locally crafted snack while they refuel. Store managers previewed the buttery kernels and promise a crisp, handcrafted taste that reflects the city's historic love of simple pleasures. This rollout marks the first time the brand will be available beyond its own storefront, expanding the reach of a homegrown product to a statewide audience. Look for the bright red bags in the snack aisle as the launch rolls out over the next few weeks.
Saratoga's tennis community honors Coach Rich Johns with the Intercollegiate Tennis Association's Lifetime Achievement Legacy All-American Award, recognizing 38 years of leading our boys and girls programs. Owen Prescott has the full story.
Rich Johns, a name synonymous with Saratoga tennis, has just been handed the Intercollegiate Tennis Association's Legacy All-American Lifetime Achievement Honor. The ceremony, held at the local community center, recognized 3 decades and 8 years of his stewardship over both the boys and girls programs. Players and parents gathered as the association presented a plaque bearing his name, while former students recalled early morning drills on the clay courts of the downtown park. Officials noted that his tenure has produced dozens of state qualifiers and a steady pipeline of college athletes. The award caps a career that began in the early 80s and has left a lasting imprint on the town's tennis culture. Owen Prescott, GMNA News, Saratoga.
Skidmore sophomore Bryce Terry is set to spearhead the second annual Beyond the Summit Triathlon tomorrow. A 1-mile swim, a 20-kilometer bike, and a 10-kilometer run that winds through North Conway, New Hampshire. Terry will be joined by teammates Shane Baker, Coleman Jenkins, Christian Day, and Theo Angelopoulos, each tackling the course to rally support for the oncology department at Memorial Hospital in their hometown. Organizers say the fundraiser, now in its second year, aims to boost critical cancer care services as the summer racing season peaks in the region. The group plans to raise donations throughout the swim, bike, and run segments, with proceeds directed straight to the hospital's treatment programs. Spectators along the scenic route are expected to cheer the Skidmore athletes as they push toward the finish line.
Last Thursday, the Spa Catholic baseball team received a special honor on the Saratoga racecourse. After clinching back-to-back state championships, the squad was invited into the winner's circle, where race course staff presented them with ribbons and a commemorative plaque. Players posed for photos beside the historic grandstand just before the third race of the day, smiling as fans cheered from the stands. The ceremony highlighted the high school program's recent success and underscored the close ties between the city's athletic and racing traditions. Coaches praised the athletes for their dedication, noting the titles marked the program's first consecutive state wins in more than a decade. The event added a festive note to the summer meet, reminding spectators that Saratoga's spirit thrives both on the track and the diamond. Local alumni also attended, cheering on their former teammates.
Mary Lou Doyle is handcrafting American-made quarter-pole souvenirs for Saratoga racing fans, offering personalized keepsakes that celebrate the track's tradition. Russ Tedeschi has the full story.
At the heart of the Saratoga racing community, Mary Lou Doyle is handcrafting quarter-pole keepsakes that celebrate each fan's connection to the track. Using American-made materials, she shapes a small pole topped with a quarter, then engraves the owner's name and the race date. The finished souvenir fits on a mantle or desk, giving collectors a tangible reminder of a day at the Speedway. Doyle says the idea grew from a desire to offer something more personal than a generic ticket stub, a way for enthusiasts to carry a piece of the track home. The project has become a small but steady part of the local racing tradition, with new pieces rolling out for every major event. Russ Tedeschi, GMNA News, Saratoga Springs.
Now let's check tonight's forecast and see how the heat advisory might affect our plans.
A fast southwestern jet stream is squeezing moisture out of the mid-level flow, leaving tonight's air unusually stable. On this date, the station recorded a blistering 90-degree high in 2021, a spike that rode the tail of a lingering heat wave across the Capital District. The cold record sits at 51 degrees set in 2020, a surprise dip that arrived with an early October-style Arctic surge. Normal highs hover around 77, and lows near 55. So today's 79 high feels a touch above average, while tonight's low of 59 sits just a shade warmer than the long-term norm. The live radar still shows a lingering band of showers centered just west of the city, drifting eastward under the influence of the southwest jet. The heaviest echoes were locked in at 4 p.m., and by 6 p.m. they are thinning and moving toward the Hudson Valley. Expect the last drops to clear Saratoga Springs by about 7 p.m., leaving a clean, overcast sky for the night. At 6 p.m., the city sits under a thick overcast layer, temperature 77, humidity 58%, and a gentle southwest breeze at 4 miles per hour. Pressure is near average and nudging upward, a sign that drier, more stable air is advancing from the west. The powerful 103-mile-per-hour jet stream overhead is steering the mid-level flow straight through the region, suppressing any lingering convection. With the jet's momentum, the sky will stay cloud-filled but dry through the evening, and overnight lows will dip to 59. UV index reads 6, wind will peak at 11 miles per hour from the southwest, and no weather alerts are in effect. Visibility remains 10 miles, reinforcing the calm night ahead. Looking ahead, Friday brings a high of 79 and a low of 57 under a clear sky, as the high-pressure ridge deepens and the jet stream lifts northward, locking in dry conditions. Saturday's pattern softens. A weak cold front slides in, pushing clouds back over the area and offering a 30% chance of rain, with temperatures peaking at 75 and dipping to 61. Sunday sees the front linger, delivering light rain and a 40% rain chance, while highs climb back to 79 and lows hold at 59. Monday returns to clear skies as the ridge re-establishes, bringing a high of 73, low of 55, and only a 20% rain threat. Tuesday stays dry and mild, high 72, low 55, as the jet stream remains zonal and the atmosphere stays stable. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunset is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic's clear, the rail rider's Hendry is back on the mound, and tonight's shows include an American in Paris. We will be right back.
Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news. All major routes are moving smoothly this afternoon. Interstate 87 northbound and southbound show no slowdowns, and US 9 through downtown is clear. NY9P, Route 29, and the Saratoga Lake Loop are all reporting free-flowing traffic. Even the commuter belt around the university and the industrial park on Route 50 remains open, with travel times holding steady. With no accidents or roadwork reported, drivers can expect a relatively trouble-free ride home. The only thing to watch for is the usual buildup near the downtown core as office workers head out, where speeds may dip a few miles per hour after rush hour. Transit service is running on schedule, so buses and the local train remain reliable. Overall, it's a good day to hit the road or hop on a bus, and we'll keep you posted if anything changes. Stay tuned for any updates as the evening approaches.
Tonight, the Philadelphia Orchestra and mezzo-soprano Michelle can bring Gershwin's An American in Paris to the Saratoga Performing Arts Center. A sweeping, cinematic score that turns our lakefront into a living canvas. Music lovers, mark your calendars for the classic rock showdown when Lynyrd Skynyrd and Foreigner take the SPAC stage on August 23rd. With Six Gun Sally adding a fresh twist, it's the kind of night that fills the town with sing-along energy. Art enthusiasts can wander the Valerie Artisan Market's small gallery to see Ann Sutherland and Seth Butler. At the moment, Mother-Son Show, a dialogue of brushstrokes that captures the pulse of our local creative families. History buffs, lace up your walking shoes for the grand, gilded and glorious Saratoga stroll at the Heritage Area Visitor Center, a guided tour that unpacks the glamour and legends of our Gilded Age roots. And now here's James with sports.
Summer heat fuels the race, the Miners and the Yankees playoff push. Brian Hendry, the 26-year-old right-hander drafted in the 10th round of the 2023 draft, is thrilled to return after missing all of last season with Tommy John surgery. His comeback adds a fresh arm to the Yankees' Triple-A rotation and puts him back on the major league radar. Today marks Greg Nettles' birthday, honoring the former third baseman who helped steer the Yankees out of a 14-year World Series drought after Steinbrenner's takeover. His steady glove and clutch bat remain a benchmark for the franchise's resurgence and a reminder of the club's storied past. The Yankees stayed in the thick of the American League scramble, snapping a 5-run deficit to beat the Orioles 5-3 on an 8th-inning rally. That third straight win keeps them within striking distance of the division lead and forces rivals to watch their next series closely. Against the Orioles, the Yankees displayed a familiar script: elite pitching, a stagnant offense, and a tight finish. The lack of aggressive base-running kept runs off the board, highlighting a need for more daring leads and extra bases if the club hopes to sustain its playoff push. The Scranton-Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders fell 7-2, yet the night showcased promising arms and bats. Pitcher Xavier Rivas surrendered 5 hits and 2 homers, while prospects like Kilby and Pina delivered key strikeouts, underscoring depth that could soon influence the big league roster. Carson Benj's 2-run blast lifted the Mets to a 4-2 win over the Padres, showcasing the young core's firepower after a recent roster overhaul. Riding an 11-win streak since early August, the Mets prove they can compete deep into the season despite limited playoff hopes. Keep watching the stretch. The stakes only rise from here.
Thanks, James. Stewart's Shops, right on Broadway in downtown Saratoga Springs, is treating us to a taste of autumn. The beloved convenience store chain has just rolled out a 3-flavor fall ice cream lineup: pumpkin spice, caramel apple, and cinnamon nut. Each scoop is swirled with the same creamy base that locals have trusted for years, but now carries the crisp, warm notes of the season as the leaves turn. The launch is more than a sweet indulgence. It's a reminder that our downtown can still surprise and delight, drawing neighbors together for a quick break on their way to work or a stroll along the river. Stewart's has been a fixture on our streets for decades, and these new flavors keep the community's spirit as fresh as the first bite. Kindred Spirit on August 31st at Saratoga Arts and a haunted Canfield Casino tour November 12th. We will be right back.
Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news. Welcome back. The Kindred Spirit Music Series returns with a free concert at Saratoga Arts on Monday, August 31st, 2026, from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m., featuring hosts Cosby Gibson and Tom Stottle. Owen Prescott has the full story.
Tonight, the Kindred Spirit Music Series rolls onto the stage at Saratoga Arts for a free concert. Cosby Gibson and Tom Stottle are on hand to host the evening, inviting residents to gather for 3 hours of live tunes. The event kicks off at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, August 31st, and runs until 9 p.m., offering a blend of folk, jazz, and acoustic sets that have become a staple of the series. No tickets are required, and families are welcome to enjoy the open-air setting while local musicians share their sound. It's another installment in the ongoing series that provides live music to the community. Owen Prescott, GMNA News, Saratoga Arts.
Canfield Casino will host its second annual Spirited Evening Paranormal Tour on Thursday, November 12, 2026, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., blending local history with mystery. Russ Tedeschi has the full story.
Tonight, the historic Canfield Casino transforms into a lantern-lit corridor of whispers as the Saratoga Springs History Museum rolls out its second annual Spirited Evening. From 6 o'clock until 10, visitors wander through the casino's ornate ballroom and gaming hall, guided by docents who weave together 19th-century anecdotes with reports of lingering presences. Along the marble staircases, soft audio cues echo stories of former gamblers and rumored apparitions, while portable lanterns cast flickering shadows on the original woodwork. The program blends factual tour with scheduled mystery moments, inviting participants to pause at designated rooms and listen for unexplained sounds. Tickets are sold on a first-come, first-served basis, and the event promises a blend of education and eerie intrigue for families and history buffs alike. Russ Tedeschi, GMNA News, Canfield Casino.
Thank you, Saratoga Springs, for joining us on the local sunset. Tonight we celebrated Coach Rich Johns and his Lifetime Achievement Honor, a reminder of the community's dedication. Stay safe with the heat advisory and keep an eye on the road closures. We'll be back tomorrow with more news you need. Good night.